Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we discuss everything related to education, being a clinician, or clinicians wanting to go into education. And I love to throw in little pearls of those of you guys that are struggling to get to even just one of those fields. So let's start today with talking about tenured versus non-tenured tracks. I believe I sort of surprised, maybe shocked some people at the new university that I just signed a contract for because I chose non-tenured track. And I was asked a couple different times if I'm sure. And down the road, I could change if I want to, but let me explain to you why. There is a hierarchy in medicine, and oftentimes this transfers over into education as well. So you may start at a university as possible guest instructor, maybe a research assistant. By the time you get up to assistant professor, that next line may be associate professor before you make it to a full-fledged professor. Also, when you are teaching part-time for the institution, they may pay you an hourly rate, or they may just give you a stipend, and you are expected to teach all of your classes within a certain curriculum, a certain syllabus, but you just get this one stipend, and sometimes you're just paid once. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. For those of you guys going full-time faculty, it was like uncovering the great Oz and going behind the scenes and actually seeing what is really happening. So there's this image that's portrayed. I'm sure you guys remembered Dorothy and her friends going through the poppy flowers, getting to Oz, and then they see the great, Wizard of Oz, and they're at first scared and impressed and all these emotions that they're actually there. But then they look behind the curtain and see a man wielding things to create this image. And so going full-time faculty is like going behind the curtain. You will see exactly for what it is. You will see all of the politics, and just be warned, there can be a lot of cutthroat competitiveness with other professors. So I highly recommend protecting your ideas. Instead of possibly working with other professors, which you think would be a good thing, possibly work with some passionate undergrad students. Hire your own research assistants if that's possible, because there are many times I've experienced it through friends at other institutions and myself, when you have certain ideas and people take them and run with them, or something that maybe you worked to establish and other people up on the chain get credit for it. And so I just wanted to not doom and gloom you all, but give you a good warning that I learned the hard way. And that was, again, trying to be kind, trying to include others, in things that I was developing, and it ended up burning me in the long run. So just wanted to warn you about that. Obviously, if you get to know, some of your professor friends very well, you get to trust who they really are and their character, by all means, work with them, do projects with them. But they really do need to earn your trust first. Just a warning there. What I have seen of tenured versus non-tenured is that most universities want you to have, when you're a tenured track, some sort of research ongoing. They want you to be teaching, and they want you to give so much service to the university. So that may look like being on certain committees. When I chose non-tenured track just recently, I just signed a new contract for a new institution last week. And when I chose non-tenured, I didn't want the pressure of researching and publishing so often. And so there is a saying in academics called publish or perish, because that is a huge part of what keeps you as a tenured professor. So knowing that I didn't want that pressure, because I want my focus to be on my teaching. I want my focus to be with my students. And yeah, if I can do research and publish on the side in my timeline, then I would be really happy about that. So those were my goals. The other thing that you might be asking, well, doesn't tenured professor mean you're safer down the road? Legally, you have more rights. Yes, it can definitely mean all that. However, if people higher up on the chain really want you out, they are going to make your life miserable for you to move on. And so personally, there was some cutthroat things that happen. However, I witnessed that a lot of other people in higher positions, sadly, some of them tend to be heavier on the female side, that they've earned their way up to these amazing positions just to be pulled down by either a brand new provost or other catty throat cutting professors that may have tainted their reputation to people higher up the chain. And so I just want to warn you that that person was quickly pulled from their position of power and then given classes to teach, because when you're tenured, you're supposed to be given so much work to maintain your salary and stuff there. But it was introduction classes, massive amounts of students, an unrealistic workload. And so I just really want you guys to be aware that even if you get to that point of safety and you feel no way that would happen to me, I've been teaching here 10 years, I've been teaching here 12 years, I've been teaching here 20 years, I've seen it happen across the board. And not even just with professors, but even with staff who, were just doing their jobs, and then somebody was catty and jealous and wanted to bring them down. So I really, really, really wanted to just give a stark warning before you dive into education. I would get your little toe wet, become a guest lecturer somewhere, maybe be a clinical preceptor, again, if you're a clinician, and just see if you even like working with students. I love, love, love it. I bring them into whatever I do, and it makes me very, very happy. I love talking about medicine and, different zebra cases and things like that. But before you dive in and sign that full-time faculty contract, please, consider every word in that contract, what you're going to be held to. And if there is a newer program or a newer director, you really need to get to know the culture of the university. You really need to sit down with other faculty that may share with you the seriousness of certain expectations that weren't given to you prior. So those are my words of encouragement. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you again soon. Take care.